So just got done helping out my mom with her classroom stuff, getting it set up. Now I'm heading to Home Depot to get some stuff to hopefully finish up working on a super duper top secret project that you're not allowed to know about yet. But hopefully you'll get to see it on Friday maybe. For today's vlog, we are going to be doing I'm currently going to meet the family for some ever wholesome frozen yogurt. What? So for today's vlog, we are going to be doing a fashion report. On these. So I've worn these shoes a lot. And I've had them for 3 years. Skated in them, biked in them. There's some falling apart happening in there. But they've stayed together. They stay together pretty well. I'm not gonna do the whole thing like this, but this light actually looks pretty cool. Just streaming in, it's almost like a glamour shot about stinky old Vans. All right, that is better. Still, it might be a little dark. We'll work with it. When I was making the purchase all those many 3 years ago, I knew that they were going to be super sturdy, long-lasting shoes that are going to be essentially bomb-proof, right? That I can put through the test, put through the works. It was more than worth the investment. I've gotten more than my 40, 50 bucks or whatever these things are now. There's a point to all this, I promise. So when we look at our walk with Christ and our relationship with God, it's an investment. Right, we're investing so much into it, or we should be investing so much into it. And the idea of getting more than what you paid for is sort of extreme understatement in that situation. So by investing what seems like a lot now, I didn't do my research for this, but I think that the human life expectancy is like 80-ish now. That may be even high. For what seems like, for what can seem like a lot of investment, it was 80 years, we can turn around and have eternal life. You do the math, right? Let me stop and clarify something real quick. We cannot do this alone. The investments that we're making are out of thankfulness and out of love for Jesus. If it wasn't for Jesus, we would have no hope at all, really, in having eternal life, which we've talked about before, but I just want to stop and clarify that. Let's get back to it. This conversation can also easily lend itself towards a conversation about sustainability, which I think is amazing, because sustainability is another beautiful example of how our relationship with God should be. So sustainability is, long story short, us taking care of the world now and things now so that it'll be there later. I think that we can do things to make our relationship with God more sustainable. For example, prayer and study is going to be huge. If you know the God that you're worshiping and the God that you're serving, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier for you to stick with it, for you to have a more sustainable walk. Going back to the idea of eternal life being worth a whole lot more than what you're investing in it. So to bring those two sides of this conversation together, having a sustainable walk with Christ, having a sustainable faith walk, is going to help with investing time and energy into God, right? Um, if you formed this sustainable relationship, then things that you would have to work harder for are going to come more naturally to you. So if doing chores when you're a kid becomes second nature to you, then things like taking out the trash, doing the dishes, whatever that would have been, is going to become a lot easier because you're accustomed to it and because it's worked into who you are. And so taking that with God, right? So if your faith, if you can work to have your faith become part of who you are and part of your daily customs and your daily life, it's going to seem much more natural and much more authentic and a part of who you are. I want to leave you with a challenge, and that challenge is to see what you can work on in your life to make your relationship with Christ more sustainable. And like I said, there's things like prayer, study, whatever it takes to make your faith walk and your faith practices, if you will, feel more natural and more comfortable, more part of who you are.